Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I've come to Hereford Cathedral. I'm editing the video today, which is Christmas Eve, but I actually visited the cathedral on Tuesday the 16th of December. I didn't expect the cathedral to be too busy, but it was. Now this is due to a local school. They were doing a practice for their Christmas performance, so it's good and bad. There's about, 50 kids here, and fair play, they were quite good actually. So I've tried to cut as much of them out of the video as possible, but when there's some nice singing, I've left it in the video, and when it's a bit quieter, I'll just talk about the history. So before I go any further, I just want to wish you all a very happy Christmas. I hope you've had a good year and hopefully you'll enjoy your time off. I know I will. I'm going to have 2 weeks off now and try and do as little as possible. I've been so surprised how well my channel's done. I only started it in June, I think it was, so 6 months ago, and I'm now on nearly 5,500 subscribers, which I just can't believe. So thank you to all of you who have subscribed, liked and just watched my videos. It really means a lot. So this is an Anglican cathedral, and I've just crossed the border back into my home country of England, and it's absolutely stunning, this one. The tower there is about 50 metres tall and the cathedral is around 104 metres long. So I walked inside the building and was hit with all this noise, which sort of kind of surprised me. So I headed right and I start at the west end of the cathedral. This is one of the nicest fonts I've seen. It's a really big one and dates from 1150. These rather large Norman pillars divide the 12th century nave from the 14th century side aisles. Like most of these cathedrals, the ceiling is absolutely magnificent, and it's only when you start zooming in you'll notice lots of different symbols, and this is part of the reasons why I got into symbology. This is the south transept, and it has some very interesting tapestries on the wall. There doesn't appear to be any graves in the churchyard itself, but there's plenty of tomb effigies, and this is a very elaborate one. It always amazes me, the stupidity of people. Why would you want to graffiti on an effigy like this? And actually, this is worse. This is actually damaging this sacred site.
Readers, here we go.
This is the south choir aisle, and there's plenty more effigies here. There's actually quite a lot of bishops buried in this cathedral. There's so much amazing things here, and you'd really need to spend 3 or 4 hours to look around properly. I was only here for about an hour, but everywhere you look you'll find these effigies. There's amazing stained glass windows, ledger stones on the floor. Literally everywhere you look you're going to find something interesting. There's been a place of worship here since at least the 8th century. 696 is the traditional date for the foundation of this cathedral. However, no part of the building has survived earlier than the 11th. This medieval cathedral was not monastic, meaning it was run by priests and not monks. And as you can imagine, this is a Grade 1 listed building. I've got no fear that this cathedral will be damaged. At the minute, the tower's getting work done by a stonemason, so these kind of buildings will always be here in England. Unfortunately, a lot of the churches I do visit, the ones you've seen in my videos, I fear that they won't be here in the next 50 years. So this is the crypt area that leads to the Lady Chapel. This is the east part of the cathedral, and it's believed to be built in the 13th century. This is the orderly chapel, a very interesting little room. It has these very interesting modern stained glass windows, and they are beautiful, but I am a bit torn because I like to see the traditional stuff in these cathedrals. A bit like the S.A.S window. I kind of like it, but I don't. This one reminds me of the programme Stranger Things from Netflix, which, even though I'm a bit too old for it, I do really enjoy. It kind of looks like the upside down world, which, strangely enough, this little chapel is made for. In the old days, priests were actually paid to pray for people to help them get through purgatory in this very chapel. We're in the north choir aisle now, and if you notice, a lot of these effigies have animals by them, and when you see one with a lion at someone's feet, this represents courage and bravery, and it's often a knight that's buried there. The next little room is my favourite in the whole of the cathedral, and it's known as the Stanbury Chapel, which was the chantry chapel of Bishop John Stanbury from 1474. This is the north transept, and it has the shrine of St Thomas of Hereford, which we'll have a look at in a minute. The shrine of St Thomas of Hereford has been a focus of pilgrimage since the end of the 13th century. The stone and marble tomb is one of the best preserved medieval shrines in England. Here pilgrims can light their candles and leave their prayers. So that's the end of today's tour. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please check out my other cathedral videos. I've done 3 other ones that hardly anyone's watched. I'll add 2 of them now, so you can click on that if you like.